Hello, and welcome to LimaCharlie. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create your own endpoint detection and response rules with just a few clicks. One of our primary goals when we started LimaCharlie was to make endpoint capability accessible to as many people as we could. One of the ways that we have done this is by creating a process that allows users to create detection and response rules using YAML or in an assisted mode using a GUI interface. The DNR GUI allows less technical users or users new to the platform to create a wide variety of detection and response rules that can be applied to all their endpoints or a subset of at the click of a button. We can get started creating our own detection and response rules by clicking on DNR rules in the left-hand menu. This page is where the DNR rules that have been created with the account are listed, and we can create a new one by clicking the blue plus icon in the upper right corner. We are now presented with the pop-up rule builder and can get started. The first thing we need to do is give it a name. And then, as you can see, there are 3 different levels of complexity to this wizard, each of which you can use to build your rules. You can think of them as beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and we'll quickly go through each one in turn. Basic lets us create the simplest form of DNR rules. With this version of the builder, we can create simple detections based on a few different indicators of compromise, such as domain name, IP address, file hashes, executable path or file name, along with file integrity monitoring. For this example, we're just going to use a domain, and we're going to look for evil.com. And then on the next line, we're going to look for reallyevil.com. Both of these domains will be included as part of this detection. We can then select the IOCs to target specific operating systems. For this example, I'm just going to look at Windows and Mac OS. And finally, you can choose any number of responses, such as killing the process that triggered the detection, isolating the host from the network, or sending a report to one of the output channels, or all 3. And don't worry, the LimaCharlie platform is still able to communicate with any endpoint that has been isolated from the network. For this example, I'm going to isolate the host and I'm going to send a report. Once we're happy with what we have, we can hit apply and we'll be brought over to the advanced tab, where we can see the YAML script which is used to construct the rule. Seeing the code after using the GUI builder is a great way for new users to understand how the logic works. If we hit create, the GUI will close and our rule will show up in the list. And because I still want to show you the assisted or intermediate mode, we're going to click the blue plus icon one more time and go back into the GUI builder. Once the builder is open, I'm going to click on assisted. The first thing we need to do is give this rule a name. We'll call this one complex. And for this example, let's look for a new process on a Windows machine that is either from evil.exe or reallyevil.exe. So the first thing we're going to do is set up an AND condition and then say we need to have one of those conditions be a new process. There we go. And then we want to make sure that this is ANDed with a Windows machine, so a new process on a Windows machine. And then we're going to be looking for our 2 files, so it can be one or the other. We're going to need to set up a file path here, then evil.exe, or ends with another file path, reallyevil.exe. So this is the logic for detection that will look for a new process on a Windows machine that comes from a file named evil.exe or reallyevil.exe. In the scheme of things, this is a pretty simple rule that's very similar to the first one we made, but it should give you an idea of how these different detections can be chained together through this GUI. For our response, we're going to add a tag to the endpoints that we see this on. We'll call the tag evil, and we can give it an optional time to live, and for this example we'll make it 1 hour. When we're happy with what we've done, we can hit apply, and we're once again shown the YAML, which we can have a look at to help learn the format. Once we're happy with this, we can click create, and instantly this rule will be applied to all of our endpoints. I'm going to stop short of showing you an example where I write raw YAML. I think the examples I showed you gave you an idea of how it is formatted and where you should put it. If I circle back now, it's just going to be redundant. There are lots of examples of YAML detections and responses in the doc that go over the structure in detail. Hopefully this video is giving you an idea of what is possible here. It's an extremely powerful EDR system that can detect over 50 event types, and in order to leverage them properly, you're going to want to make sure you take the time to read the documentation. Links to the event type doc will be listed with this video, and I'll provide some complex examples with the course. Also, if you're trying to accomplish something and getting stuck, please do give us a shout. Chances are that if you're trying to do it, other people are too, and we're happy to help.